It certainly was a warm day today. Temperatures were at 86 degrees, winds southwest at 24 miles per hour, the humidity at 33%, and the barometric pressure at 29.74 and falling. Now, as we take a look at our air condition, it looks all over Oaktown, Bicknell, Hazleton, Bridgeport, all experiencing some fair skies right now. Oaktown at 86, Bicknell at 86, Hazleton at 86, and Bridgeport, Illinois also at 86 degrees. Let's take a look at our U.S. temperature map. Now, as you guys can see, from the northern to the southern part of the United States, there's a big temperature difference. In the northern half, temperatures are in the 50s, 60s. We have a 72 out in the New England area. And with, let's say, like Buffalo, New York at 59 degrees and Chicago, Illinois at 64 degrees. Now, for the southern half, temperatures in the 50s to the 90s with Dallas, Texas at 92 degrees and a 14-degree difference between Chicago and Danville, Illinois at 80 degrees. Let's look into our frontal map. Now, this is that cold front which is actually causing the difference between the northern and also southern half. But as we look into the west, we have this weak stationary front going through the Four Corner region, not really causing much. We do have this high pressure system here, which is causing some clear and dry conditions for the majority of the United States. Now, in the east, as you guys can see, the same pressure system, the same system has moved on, and it's been, it was about 3 days, I guess. Yeah, 3 days that for the system to move off into the east, but we do have this low pressure system here, which will bring us a chance for some late evening showers and also thunderstorms, as we will see in our forecast. Now for tonight, partly cloudy, a 30% chance of storms and showers late this evening with winds northwest 15 to 20 miles per hour with a low of 50. Then for tomorrow's conditions, mostly sunny skies, north-northwest winds 15 to 20 miles per hour with a high of 65. Then for tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies, north-northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour with a low of 41. For our extended weekend, or should I say homecoming weekend Saturday, mostly clear with a high of 61 and a low of 38. Sunday, sunny with a high of 65 and a low of 42. Then Monday, sunny with a high of 72 and a low of 49. So hopefully everyone heading out to the homecoming festivities this weekend will enjoy the weather as well, Mitch.
It sounds like it's going to be definitely perfect football weather. Thanks, Danny. The VU volleyball team picked up their 17th win of the season last night, but they had to claw their way back against a determined Danville team. Cody Cully is here now with more. Cody?
That's right, Mitch. The Blazers were cruising along until they ran into some problems in the third set of the match. I'll have the highlights when News Center 22 returns. Blazers sweep Jags. Good evening, everyone. For WVUT Sports, I'm Cody Cully. The Vincennes University volleyball team had to rally in the third set of their match with Danville Area College to sweep the Jaguars last night in the PE complex. The Trailblazers won by scores of 25-15, 25-6, and 25-21. Danville led 19-14 when VU called a timeout. The Trailblazers came out of the break to score 5 unanswered points and eventually win the game. VU coach Brittany Harry says sophomore Bonnie Stone's play off the bench helped spark the Trailblazers for the comeback.
I'm really proud of her coming off the bench. And then we had a good serving night, so everyone that went back to serve Jessica Chichester went on a good run on her serve, and Shelby Haas went on a good run with her serve as well. So those were a couple players that stood out.
Freshmen Janelle Zachary and Tiffany Madura also had productive earnings. Madura had 6 kills while Zachary registered 5. Sophomore Jordan Owens and freshman Lauren Bratcher had 4 kills each. Bratcher also had 22 assists. VU's next match is a week from Saturday when they host Lakeland College at 3 p.m. The Vincennes Lincoln volleyball team defeated Boonville Wednesday night in straight sets, 26-24, 25-23, and 25-21. Taylor Nash had 14 points, 4 aces, 5 kills, and 9 assists. Allie Bobe finished with 9 points, 5 aces, 5 kills, 7 digs, and Anissa Hatton, 9 points, 2 aces, 11 digs. The Lady Alices are back in action this evening, hosting South Knox. The JV game gets underway at 6 p.m. Vincennes, Lincoln, and Reveille will meet in the championship of the Lincoln boys tennis sectional tonight. The Alices advanced with a 5-0 win over Washington Catholic, while the Patriots defeated Washington 4-1. Washington Catholic forfeited both doubles positions, leaving the Alices needing to win 1 point to advance. Will DeBrock delivered it quickly with a 6-1, 6-1 win at number 1 singles. Reveille's only loss came at number 2 doubles. The Patriots are the defending sectional champions. The St. Louis Cardinals are headed to the postseason. The Redbirds wrapped up the regular season with an 8-0 win over the Astros. St. Louis set the tone early with 5 runs in the first inning. Chris Carpenter did the rest. He pitched a complete game 2-hit shutout, striking out 11 along the way. The Cardinals' win, combined with Atlanta's 4-3 loss to Philadelphia in 13 innings, gives the Cardinals the National League wild card and berth in the playoffs. The Redbirds won 23 of their final 31 games to erase the 10.5-game lead the Braves held over them on August 25th. St. Louis will face the Phillies in the National League Division Series, which will start Saturday in Philadelphia. Evan Longoria capped a startling comeback by hitting his second home run of the game, hooking a drive barely inside the left field foul pole in the 12th inning Wednesday night and giving the Rays the AL wildcard spot with an 8-7 win over the New York Yankees. Longoria connected shortly after midnight, 4 minutes after Boston blew a 9th inning lead and lost to the Baltimore Orioles 4-3.
This group has been the same way the whole year, and man, I can't wait to celebrate. It's been an unbelievable ride.
As you talk to us now, has it hit you that you're in the playoffs right this second?
Oh no, I can't believe it. I really cannot believe it. I mean, I wanted to be popping champagne tonight, but I never imagined it'd be this way.
The crowd at Tropicana Field was mostly silent as the Rays trailed 7-0 going into the 8th. But Longoria's 3-run homer finished a 6-run burst in the 8th, and Johnson, hitting only 108, tied it with a shot off Corey Wade. The Indianapolis Colts will play the remainder of the season without team captains Gary Brackett and Melvin Bullitt. The 2 defensive leaders were placed on injury reserve Wednesday with shoulder injuries. Brackett has already had surgery on his shoulder, and Bullitt will undergo surgery on his shortly. Quarterback Dan Orlowski and linebacker A.J. Eads will take their spots on the roster. Following that announcement, the Colts issued a release saying they have waived defensive back Justin Tryon and signed defensive back Jermel Hines. They called him the Sweetness, but Chicago Bears great Walter Payton had a dark side, according to a biography to be released October 4th. Sports Illustrated is exerting part of Jeff Pearlman's book, Sweetness, The Enigmatic Life of Walter Payton, this week. The new biography alleges Payton self-medicated during his playing days with the painkiller Darveron. Payton, who retired after the 1987 season as the then all-time leading rusher in the NFL history, was depressed and suicidal in the mid-90s. Pearlman cites a letter from Payton to a friend in which Payton said he imagined himself killing those around him and then turning a gun on himself. Time now for our play of the day. The Red Sox are taking on the Orioles at Camden Yards. The O's Vladimir Guerrero with the grounder up the middle. Marco Scutaro of the Red Sox makes the grab and gloves it to Dustin Pedroia with the throw to first to complete the 6-4-3 double play. Check that out again as Scutaro gloves it to Pedroia to start the double play. What a play. And Mitch, even though the Sox didn't make the playoffs, they still earn our play of the day.
It was a good play. Thanks, Cody. Coming up next, many people are looking to New Jersey Governor Chris Christie to run for president, but many others are criticizing not his platforms, but his waistline. We'll explain when we return. Stay with us.
On the next History Detectives, 3 stories of Prohibition-era America. What does this simple business card have to do with the birth of Las Vegas? What role did this weapon play in a ruthless Chicago mob massacre? And why did New York's wealthiest plan a high society circus at the very depth of the Great Depression?
Next time on Nature. From Papua New Guinea and the Jordanian desert to England's rugged hills and the Arctic Circle, one animal made an indelible mark.
Without them, we would have never survived. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
These amazing creatures followed us, understood us, and we made them our own. Now, science takes us to where the story began and asks, is there a motherland for dogs that change the world?
As people ask New Jersey Governor Chris Christie to run for president, the debate over his weight is heating up again. Jeannie Most takes a look at how the politician's size is being put up front and center.
As Governor Chris Christie's profile gets bigger, so does the issue of his size.
All right.
Now that he's a national figure, comedians are starting to make his waistline a punchline.
Take a look. I mean, does he show up? Go to Google Earth.
From late night to daytime talk, Chris Christie's weight is being tossed around.
Can you see him as president?
Can I say, you say no? Okay. Why not? What you said is because he's hefty.
For a while, they danced around the F word, but then...
I don't think the country's ready for a fat president again.
I think that's ridiculous.
Imagine this conversation about an overweight female candidate.
Governor Christie is a bonanza for cartoonists like Jeff Danziger, who drew Republicans in a life raft seeking rescue, while Chris Christie is belly up on the beach.
I mean, I saw him the other day. I was amazed by him. He must be 300 plus. And that's something he's just got to deal with, because you're not going to say, I'm going to cut the budget. Well, how about start with supper?
But Chris Matthews would go to bed without his supper for that remark if Mike Huckabee had his way.
To criticize Chris Christie because of the amount of his skin is absurd.
The amount of Huckabee's skin used to be excessive. He lost 110 pounds. His weight may be the elephant in the room, but Chris Christie talks about it comfortably.
I'll let all of your audience in on a little secret, Wolf. I'm overweight. The thing that I feel most guilty about, my weight.
Where do you fall down in terms of dealing with it?
I eat too much. I mean, yeah, it's not a complicated thing.
When it comes to portly presidents, William Howard Taft was America's biggest at over 300 pounds. Taft was famous for getting stuck in the White House bathtub. Aides had to come get him out. He then had a new tub made, big enough for 4 men. At a Christie town hall, one voter saw beyond size.
And I think having a governor that is smart and that it has the perseverance to do what's right is hot and sexy.
Contrast that with Letterman's top 10 ways the country would be different if Chris Christie were president.
Number 2, instead of Iraq, we'd invade IHOP. And the number 1.
Prepare for a steady diet of jokes. Jeannie Most, CNN.
His motto could be no more vetoes, only Cheetos. Yay!
New York.
That's all for this evening. For Danny Taborn and Cody Cully, I'm Mitch Columby. Good night.